So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this panduit strap off that's on here. Got tape all the way around here. What I'll probably do is just cut it off with scissors, or I have a razor blade. Let's go around and cut it off. Be easier. Have to redo all this stuff anyway, or just this connection, so it doesn't matter. I might have to add some insulation if I can't pull it up far enough with the existing flex jacket. But if you pull up the existing flex jacket, sometimes you get in trouble, because what'll happen is it'll bunch up the helix on the inside. All right. Kind of bunch this up a little bit to get it out of the way. What we're left with is there's a manual damper on the inside. We'll take that out. Actually, we can leave those in if we want to, or take it out, it doesn't matter. We can adjust the zone damper to have a stop in it, I believe. We'll check it out. And by stop, I mean the damper can only open or close a certain amount, and then there's a physical barrier in the way that won't let it go any farther. So let's cut this off. This is our other panduit. Duct tie, whatever you want to call it. I always call them panduit straps. And something different about me, I've never, or I hardly have ever used a panduit gun. The tool that tensions these tight, I've never really used it. I always use this gun right here. All right, with this, we can do the same thing. Take the tape off, or I can just zip around it. Doesn't really matter. Nice and cool this morning. That's why I'm up here. Although, we've been doing some work while it was not so cool. In fact, this whole job was installed when it was definitely not so cool. I think it was July of last year. Pretty hot and all by myself. There we go. So the duct is disconnected. The next step is we need to get the zone damper and put it on here, and we can screw it in. So I'll put the duct out of the way. All right, this is our 10 right here. 10-inch URD. Our damper itself. Damper blade with gasket. On top you have the actuator motor, and we'll have 3 connections there: power open, power closed, and common, which you'll be able to see on the end there. That's power open, power closed, and common. And I do believe these right here, you see the little metal pieces on either side, one here and one tucked away. You can see it right here on the edge. Those are the stops that you can adjust. So let's go ahead and put this on. It'll face upward, and I should have brought the crimpers, because it looks like it's going to be kind of a non-fit here. Crimp it a little bit to get it on there better. I knew I should have brought those things, and I didn't. The crimpers are back. I've had Weiss crimpers for such a long time. It was Malco before that, but I've always used Weiss. Or Wiss, however you say it. I found that a lot of these pipes like this, they don't always have a good crimp on them, especially when you're going from 2 different brands of fittings. Like whatever brand this takeoff is, I'm not quite sure. Over to the zone damper. Sometimes they're not quite the same as if it would have been the same brand making both. Like a glove, all right. So, with this, you see if we open the manual damper, it's really, in fact, it's going to hit the other damper. It's going to hit the damper on the inside, because you can see the manual damper sticking out right here. It's going to hit it on the inside. So we're going to need to remove that. We can remove it or we can cut it. You can actually cut the blades down the side. Here, let's take a closer look and I'll explain that. So we have this manual damper here, and it sticks out so far it will hit the zone damper as the motor turns the actual blade. So we can either take it out, which is probably what I'm going to do, or cut it here so it still can block a decent volume of air if you need it to, but it won't impede that zone damper. So basically, when you turn it out straight like this, or perpendicular with the collar face, it won't impose on the damper, and you'll have to do it to both sides too, because if you turn it all the way around, you don't want it to hit by accident that way. All right, but I'm gonna take it out. So you can take the screw out on top, our wing nut here. Wing nut, there's a handle, and there's a washer. So you have these three pieces that go into that. And then just kind of bend the blade to the side on the inside. Take it out. One side of the blade typically has a screw type connection where you screw that stuff in. Sometimes both sides do, and this time actually looks like it's got some threads on it, but not really a screw inside. So we can save that for later, actually. I'm a saver, guys. I save stuff. I'm going to use the old Skill impact driver. It is not as good as the other ones that I have, but I like to use all the tools. Even if it's not as good, I'll put them into action sometimes. You guys probably do that same thing. You have a tool you like to rotate through just for the heck of it. That's what the Skill is, because the Roby's definitely more powerful. My wife bought all these containers at like TJ Maxx or Dollar Tree or something like that. So if I need to take a few screws up, I'll just put them in there. I like it. For some reason, I'm just blown away by containers. I don't know why they excite me, but different containers. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard when I say it out loud, but hey, it's just the way it is. We're gonna put 3 screws in it. We wanna make the damper motor accessible. So this time, just sticking it right up in the air is gonna be perfect anyway. There we go, 1 screw in it and I can let it go. Make sure, sometimes it moves the air handler around a little bit there, looks like. 2 more screws at least. If you have a 360-degree circle, you put them every 120 degrees or so. If you put them at 110 degrees, you get a bad YouTube comment. Looks like 110 degrees, man. I don't know how you sleep at night. Something like that. One time I pulled a vacuum down to 643 microns. I just want you guys to know that, that's all. So, okay, we got it screwed in. Next, we tape it up. There's gonna be holes where the damper fit through. Go ahead and tape those up as well. See that right here? And another one on the bottom. After I tape that up, I can put the flex back on here. See how far the jacket goes, or I'll just cut a piece of insulation to fit it. Here's what we're gonna try this time. I'm gonna try to pull this insulation back far enough where I can clip some of the helix off, just so we won't have excess helix on the inside. This is the helix, by the way, the black section right here with the wire run around it. I'm gonna pull the insulation back. I pulled it back. I'll cut like 3 or 4 rungs off of this, and we'll use it like that. Just take my little make it like that, make it real easy. Little clippy. Take my linesman's pliers and cut this off. Don't cut it with snips, so you ruin your snips. Helix fits over the crimp of the pipe here. We'll slide it up just shy of the zone damper, just like that. Now again, you use 181B. Actually, you use whatever your municipality requires of you. They all do different things. They do follow the code, but sometimes there's local requirements. It's weird. But for this, I'm going to use silver tape, but you have to do whatever locally that you're supposed to do. Make sure not to get a bunch of tape all over the shaft of your blade here on the bottom, because you don't want it to have trouble moving because you put tape all over it. All these come from experience, guys. Someone says, this zone damper ain't working. Well, who put all this tape on the blade? And I go, I don't know. Inside I know, I I did it. And on flex ducts, we'll put the panduit straps back on. A little extra tape right here, so I feel good at night. We'll put a panduit strap on, wherever they may be. Wrap it around. A regular panduit strap, I think it's 36 inches, will go all the way around 10 inch, but it doesn't quite do 12-inch ducts. You have to put two together. What I do is I just use my man strength. And I know it must be good enough because I've broken a few of them. So I figured if I've broken a few of them, it must be enough strength to get the job done. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this up. The thing is, you don't want to cover up this motor. We're not gonna do that. I can put a slit in this is what I sometimes do. I just put a slit in the insulation. Make sure you got it over the shaft, but not binding the shaft or anything like that. We'll dress this up so it don't look bad either. For those of you who might be like, oh my gosh, what do you do to that poor ductwork? It's been murdered. Somebody call the police. The YouTube police. Whenever you pull this up all the way to the trunk duct, if you feel like you haven't got all the insulation up there, sometimes I'll just grab a piece of insulation and stuff it underneath there just to make sure it's insulated. Usually you can tug on it and get it up there. But heck, I've done everything but duct insulation, house insulation, whatever I gotta do to put up in there. Like you take a little piece here, like, oh look. I wanna make sure it's fully insulated. Well, do what you gotta do, that's what I say. Because what'll happen is you'll be insulating, or you'll leave a spot that's not insulated and it'll start to sweat and drip on something. Might cause issue, might not, might just drip and then evaporate, which is what happens a lot of times, but you don't want to take that risk of it dripping all over something electrical, or getting on the drywall, eventually putting a stain on the drywall. You don't want mold either. You might have a salesman come in there and sell them a system. You don't want salesmen sneaking in with their mold strips and their good, better, best forms, swooping in on your customer to let them know that you didn't do a good job because you didn't tell them about the deadly Stachybotrys mold that's going to cause their dog to die or something. You don't want to be that guy, do you? All right, this is our first zone damper. It's a 10-inch. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other two on my own off camera. You guys see how it works, and then we'll come back with the next step of the process here in just a second. One thing that I've decided to do, because there was a little dampness down here and a little bit of humidity issues overall, I'm gonna wrap right next to the ductwork here in an extra layer of insulation, just so we don't have any damp areas. I haven't done the side I originally did. This is one of the other zones. I'm gonna go ahead and do that just to ensure we don't have any sweating right there at the trunk, because we don't want to have any issues with that down the road.